Hey everyone, and welcome back to Obsec Tactics. Today we're taking a look at the datasheet for the Silent King. This is Sarekh, the Silent King, 60 million years ago, went off to another galaxy, leaving his Necrons to sleep, and whatever he's found in the other galaxies or wherever he's been has brought him back now to kind of lead the Necrons against everything in the galaxy. So he's a pretty cool dude. We expect him to act as such. So right off the bat, he's movement 8, weapon skill 2, ballistic skill 2, strength 5, toughness 7, 16 wounds, 6 attacks. Only a 3-up save as well. So first of all, I've had a little look at this datasheet, and I'll tell you what the best thing about it is. It's the way it behaves and acts like it actually should, according to what it is. So this is a command barge with three guys on it, Sarekh in the middle, and then a Triarch at each side of him. Now, as it degrades, you lose the abilities of that Triarch. So one of them provides like an aura of hitting in melee, and one of them provides an aura of, I think, hitting or moving faster. It gives out various auras, and each of those guys either side of Sarekh is actually responsible for them. So what happens when you degrade is you lose the ability of the aura and their weapon. So like Scepter of Eternal Glory has a shooting attack and a melee attack, as does the Staff of Shooting Stars, and as they die you lose the attack. So Scythe of Dust, one of them's obviously like a complete combat boss. Each time the unit fights, it's 6 attacks, but it gets to make 4 attacks with this weapon. So that's pretty cool. Now, if we scroll down here, which one is it? Oh yeah, so if Sarekh has 8 or fewer wounds remaining, it cannot make attacks with the Staff of Stars and loses the Faring of the Stars ability. So that's the first one that dies. Out of the 3 of them, you lose one of the Triarchs because it goes below 8 wounds. Bam, you've lost his attacks and his aura. And then if he has 4 or few wounds remaining, that's the other Triarch died, and you lose the Scythe of Dust and the Faring of Blades ability. So he's like your combat Triarch. So just on that, I love this model already because that's so bloody cool and fluffy. I just love it. And then weapons, it's not exactly a pushover for a command barge. This thing clocks in at about 500 points, which I think is probably a little bit too much, but it is very cool. 36-inch range, heavy 1, so it's strength 12, AP 4, and it's just flat 6 damage. Boom, just flat 6. So you're saving probably that command reroll for this weapon, I would say, as long as you've got something to aim at where it hasn't got an invuln save. Maybe it's a Titan or a tank. I think Titans mostly have invulns, but if it's like maybe a repulsor executioner or something like that, just put 6 damage into it. Make sure you don't roll that 1, and then keep your CP for your wound roll. It's a lot of guaranteed damage there. And then you've got some shooting from the actual Triarchs. Although actually I believe one of them is Sarekh. So 24-inch range for a 3-shot, strength 8, -3, 2 damage. So that's really good against elite infantry, but also will take wounds off tanks pretty easily. Then you've got Staff of Stars. It's 9-shot. This is more for your elite infantry. It's strength 6, -2, flat 1 damage. And then it's got 3 separate melee attacks. So you get to make 6 attacks with this one. Scepter of Eternal Glory. So I guess that's probably Sarekh's. It's going to work out to be strength 9, -3, 2 damage. It's okay. And then you've got your combat Triarch, which is this guy here. So he's going to give you another 4 attacks, which is going to be at strength 8, -4, flat 3 damage. That's awesome. He's a monster, whatever he is. It's a shame you only get to make 4 attacks with him, but that's the way it should be. That's exactly how this thing would behave. And then you've got the other guy who's definitely not there for his combat prowess. His strength user, so it's strength 5, -2, 1 damage, and just 3 attacks. He actually, I guess you could say, he almost behaves a bit like a Cryptek with those stats. So it's got the living metal and command protocols, no big surprise there. But we do get a free denial, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure if this is meant to be obedience generators, but at the start of the fight phase, if there are any units within engagement range of Sarekh, until the end of the phase, those units cannot fight until all other eligible units from your army have done so. So it's an anti-charge aura. Admittedly, it's only things that are within engagement range of Sarekh. It's not quite like I think it's the Foul Blight spawn from Death Guard, who has a 7-inch aura of this ability. But say he gets charged by like I don't know, Bloodthirster or a big Slaneshi demon or, whatever. You get to fight first still. That's awesome. That's so good. Because you're probably going to do a fair bit of damage to whatever you're in combat with. And now we've got some auras. We've got Farron of the Stars. It's for core units or Triac Praetorians within 6 inches. And he acts like a chapter master for them. Each time they make a ranged attack, you can re-roll the hit roll. And then we've got the same but for wound rolls by the combat Triarch. So he's providing an aura for core units and Triac Praetorians, 6 inches, re-roll a wound roll. Nice. So he's like an uber lieutenant as well. And then we've got a +1 to move aura. Again, it's Necron core units or Praetorians. He's got 2 instances of My Will Be Done, so he gets to do it once and then twice. Voice of the Triarch. Once per battle at the start of any battle round, if Sarekh is on the battlefield, he can alter the command protocols. So command protocols, we have not seen them all, but it looks very much like they're going to be either comparable to the doctrines for the Space Marines or the Canticles of the Omnissiah for the AdMech. So in that instance, he'd behave very much like Call, Belisarius Call, who can alter them by 1. So this guy can basically choose which of those you go into. Without knowing more about them, it's hard to say how good that is, but I think it's going to be pretty good. So the Triacomineers, this is the big kind of floaty obelisk things that accompany him. While this unit contains any Triacomineers, it does not count as a character for the purposes of lookouts. So you can shoot it, no problem. Each time an attack successfully wounds this unit, the attack must be allocated to the model. So that they basically work a bit like bodyguards. That's okay. If your army is battle-forged, Sarekh must be your warlord. Well, no shit. You receive 3 additional command points if Sarekh is your warlord. Fair. 60 million years old, he's probably learnt a thing or two on his travels. I'm okay with that. So he's not the hyperlogical strategist, he's the super hyperlogical strategist. And then we've got Trans-Temporal Force Field. It's a 4-up invuln for this model. Should it be a 3-up invuln considering who and what Sarekh is? I think very possibly, but you could just get around this by giving him a maximum amount of wounds he can take in 1 turn. That would be okay. But a 4+ on its own, I feel like that's not enough to protect this guy. And then he's got this thing, Preservative Auto Torpor. It basically describes how your degradation works. If Sarekh has 8 or fewer wounds remaining, it cannot make attacks with the Staff of Stars, blah, 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 blah. And you lose abilities as it gets degraded. And then lastly, Vengeance of the Unchanged. When Sarekh is destroyed, roll 1d6 before removing it from play. On 4+, it explodes 2d6. D6 mortal wounds. So it goes off with a bang. Now, forgive me if I'm wrong, but as far as I can see, there's not too much here I can attribute to the fact that this command barge or whatever has a shard of a Catan in it. It's got no Catan powers. Is it powering the 4-up invuln save? I mean, I hope that's not all it's doing, but I can't really see anything else for it to do. Maybe it powers the Annihilator beam, who knows, but I was expecting it to have at least 1 command Catan power, to be honest. I'm not disappointed, but I am a little surprised. So yeah, that's how the Silent King Sarekh rocks out. If I've missed anything, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, be good to each other, stay safe, and from me and everyone here at Obsec Tactics, we'll see you later.